Here we go again! One more time for Nigma versus MudGolems. Game 3. We saw MudGolems actually managed to take that second game in a pretty dominant fashion. Not as dominant as Nigma managed to take game 1, that's for sure. But even still, they completely shut down Weeha in that previous game. And they just ended up running away with it. And there wasn't much the Miracle could do to try and stem the tide that was the overflowing onslaught of the MudGolems. So we'll see if maybe they're able to take this game 3, or maybe MudGolems just can clear this out now in 2-1 fashion. So Nigma, they lead up with the Faceless Void ban. I think they realised maybe it was a little bit of a mistake to give that over to MudGolems. That is their top pick. And they just, yeah, they absolutely love this hero, especially when using it with the Snapfire. So make sure they don't give that away again. MudGolems, they're going to follow up with the Weeha Viper ban once more. So I still don't think you really need to bother banning out the Viper unless you're planning on actually picking a Spectre. I don't think it poses that much of a threat that you really have to worry about first phase banning it. But even still, that is what they do. They're using quite a lot of time now just for their second ban. Really think about what they want to try and get rid of here. Maybe they're... I'd actually get rid of the Morphlin. So maybe they were just a little bit unsure about what they actually wanted to ban in that phase. Morphlin ban. I mean, you're not going to see a phase 1 Morphlin. Not really. Still, not even Nigma using up some of their reserve time just for these first couple of bans. I imagine they'll probably ban out an Io. Io's another favoured first pick for MudGolems. Maybe that or an Undying. They do enjoy the Undying quite a lot. Flutter plays it pretty well in position 5. No, let's take away the Io instead. It's a pretty safe ban. So I wonder if they're not going to really bother about trying to ban out the Storm Spirit again this time. Maybe just going to see if it's disheartened Weeha from wanting to play the Storm Spirit again. Seeing as how badly he got ronked in that previous game. But as I was saying, it wasn't really the hero's fault. It was just how well MudGolems played it. MudGolems actually go for the first pick of the Lifestealer. Okay. So that's the position 1 already filled out for the side of MudGolems. So that's even going to block the picks like the Mars. So you could see what thing we're going to build. They're actually going to grab the Magnus. So there's always that possibility. I think Mind Control plays it in the off lane, or Kuroki even plays it as the position 5. It's a very diverse hero, go into a whole myriad of roles. But I mean, now you've got the Magnus, you're going to be able to empower your position 1 carry, whoever it may be, and going to really ramp up their farming speed. So perhaps Skeeter on this Lifestealer, he's going to be forced to maybe build Battle Fury of his own. It's not, we did actually see him. Was it him that done it in the first match? Or was it a series before? I can't remember what series it was now, but yeah, we saw a Lifesteal had to pick up a Battle Fury just to match the farm that was coming out from, I think it was the Sven. So, I mean, but pretty much exactly the same similar thing here. The Magnus is going to empower whichever position 1 carry they have. So, yeah, we could see another Battle Fury coming out for this Lifestealer, or even a Hand of Midas. All depends on how he's sort of feeling. The MudGolems actually got a second pick of Tide Hunter. Okay. So I suppose because you've got a Magnus, then you sort of want your position 1 to be a melee hero as well to actually benefit from the cleave of the Empower. So in that respect, maybe you pick the Tide Hunter now before it gets banned out, just so you know you're already facing a melee hero, and Tidehunter loves playing against melee heroes, especially seeing as how the Lifestealer has already been taken out the pool. So we could potentially see another Ursa pickup. Ursa does quite well against Tidehunter. Just completely makes his Kraken shell worthless. And just rips through him because you can't even purge off the Fury Swipe stacks either. So we could potentially see a quick Ursa pickup, because even then the Ursa benefits from the Empower from the Magnus. Who else really does quite well? Maybe even a Monkey King? I don't think Miracle plays Monkey King position 1 though. I don't think... Does anyone on the side of Nigma play Monkey King? I'm not too sure actually. But even still, they're going to take the Rubik. So there is always going to be that option to steal the Ravage. And whatever other spells do end up coming out for the rest of the MudGolems. But Ravage, that's always going to be the high priority grab for most likely GH. Man does play Rubik very well. So yeah, I'm still trying to think of what position 1 Nigma are going to want to grab. I still think, yeah, I mean, we did see it in the previous game, but you're going to want something that does quite well in the laning phase against the Tidehunter. Maybe even something that you could leave solo, and then maybe you try and run a sort of aggressive tri-lane with your offlaner, maybe. Could be an interesting run. MudGolems have taken away the anti-mage, they've taken away the PA. Nigma taking away the Snapfire and the Storm Spirit. And MudGolems even take away the Jugger. And the Undying's gone. So yeah, most likely going to see the position 1 now for the side of Nigma. Or maybe not, maybe they'll leave that until their last pick. Well, their 3rd pick, I should say. 4th pick, sorry. So the Bane's grab, that's most likely going to be in the hands of Kuroki for the position 5. Sword Hero pairs quite well with the Bane. I mean, the Juggernaut does pair quite well, but I mean, that's already been banned out. Choices, eh? MudGolems using quite a lot of their reserve time now just for their 3rd pick. Quite unsure themselves about what they want to go for. Use up all of their reserve time just for this 3rd pick. They will finally settle on the Phoenix. It's most likely again going to be in the hands of Fata for the position 5. So now they've got a good couple of teamfight abilities with the Ravage and the Egg. Quite difficult though for a Rubik to steal an egg. There's always the Phoenix can instantly pop those Fire Spirits as soon as the egg does come out. But then they're going to snap up the Invoker for the side of Nigma, so that's going to be in the hands of weak half of the mid lane. So it's still just the position 1 left to grab up for Nigma. So we'll probably see what MudGolems are going to grab for the mid lane to pair up against the Invoker. Maybe like a Lina? They go for the Void Spirit. I mean, this definitely must be now for Boromir in the mid lane. Seems like they've already got the Tidehunter put in the hands of 33. But well, I mean, it's good to be a support for Void Spirit, actually. Never mind. Yeah, support Void Spirit into the hands of Milan. Could definitely work. MudGolems, they ban out the Slark. Yeah, that would have been a good pick actually. Definitely would have laned quite well against the Tidehunter and still benefited from the Empower coming out from the from the Magnus. What other sort of good position ones are there? It was the as I was saying earlier. That's the only other one I can sort of think of now. Because, I mean, Nigma, they're sort of lacking damage at the moment. You got a bit of damage that comes from the Invoker, and then suppose Magnus as well, seems that will win the hands of Mind Control, so it will be position 3 mag. Nigma, they focus a lot of their bans towards Milan once again, so maybe not expecting him to run it, the Void Spirit. Well, I'm sure this will be a Void Spirit in the hands of Milan for the position 4. Oh, never mind then. So it's going to be Borneo taking the Void Spirit in the mid lane, and then it's going to be a Milan Shadow Demon. Unless we're going to see some Thompson play. Thompson ran the Shadow Demon in the mid lane. I mean, he didn't really do much. Their team won anyway. OG managed to win that game, but it definitely wasn't because of Thompson's Shadow Demon. It's just the fact that everyone was focusing on him, so mid one managed to get a free game. But I imagine it's still just going to be Milan Shadow Demon. Either way. So we'll see what position 1 Nickel's going to pick up. They've got plenty of reserve time still left to work with. Actually, go for the Luna. Okay. So, the Luna, she still gets the damage with the Empower, sure, but she doesn't gain the actual cleave bonus. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much, seeing as how the Luna always just has the built-in glaives. So, any sort of bonus damage itself is just a nice little bonus. So, looking at these lineups, I'm not sure who I favour, to be honest with you. I mean, both teams have a decent amount of team fight. MudGolems, they got the Ravage, they got the Egg. So nice amount of AoE fight there. But then Nigma on their side, they've got the RP. And they've got the ult from the Luna. Eclipse. As well as the big old meteors and deafening blasts coming out from the Invoker. So no, I think I'm probably gonna favour MudGolems this game. Unless MC can get some like insane big RPs. Well, I don't think he needs to get big RPs. I don't know. I think these two lineups are quite evenly matched. I think once Miracle's able to build a Satanic, he should be able to stand his ground against the Lifestealer quite well. So we'll see how long it actually takes for him to get the item online. Oh, that was a good moment for the song to end, wasn't it? Fucking perfect. Perfect. So here we go. Game 3 between MudGolems and Team Nigma. Who's able to close this out in 2-1? A chocobo. Man's got a chocobo. Big skins, mate. Big skins. Yeah, it's definitely not an expensive skin, but still. I mean, you actually see a smoke up now coming out from MudGolems. Just the 4 of them heading towards the bot lane. They're just going to leave Borneo just to sit around the mid. Maybe he doesn't want to make it look too obvious that they're making some sort of play, so they will at least leave him there. But Nigma, they're sort of positioned ready for this. MudGolems, they're going to try and walk up to the high ground, but the smoke's just going to get popped when they do. Far those who kept running up there, he doesn't realise there's 4 members from the side of Nigma all sat up here. He has those fire spirits, but that's not going to help him whatsoever. And that's just first blood going towards Weeha. Going to give him a nice little bonus in his lane. Immediately buys out. What's he got? Just going to finish up his Null Talisman. So already just going to have that slight little lead in the mid lane. And then with that little bit of bonus aggression, Nibbles is going to start pushing all the way over to the dire side of the map. Looks like Kuroki and GH might actually be able to force Skeeter and 33 win. They could come in here, going to show who wins the Clicking War. All four of them just slapping their key down. Skeeter actually becomes the victor in that fight. But still, across the entire map, it just ends up being a 2 for 2 in the bounty trade. Oh, Milan needs to be a little bit careful. He was trying to run off to the side to make that space, but Kuroki's doing a good job with these blocks. Pull back there on Milan. Looks like he might just fall as well. That's another kill going towards Nigma before the first creep waves are even meeting. Already a very nice start now for Team Nigma. So is this Skeeter left in the solo in the safe lane against Mind Control? So it'll just be a 3-on-3 down bottom. But already a lot of aggression. Once again coming out onto 33, pulls him back into the rest of Team Nigma. This Fire Spirit's about to wear off, and then Miracle is able to get the last hit onto 33. So it's another kill going towards him. Now 2-0 and 1. And only a minute in. Kuroki, he's running away from Milan. Milan's put himself into a pretty dodgy position. He's actually used 2 of his tangos. He's used all of his tangos just to tunnel his way out. That's such an expensive way of keeping yourself alive. So I don't think Miracle even cares about getting the kill now. It's like Milan's used all of his tangos just for that. He could just... Well, his TP was on cooldown, so he couldn't even just TP back to the tower. So I suppose he didn't really have much choice, but even still. Just even more going into Nigma's favour here. GH has actually rotated up to the top lane. So maybe not wanting to give Skeeter a complete free farm up here. Going to try and limit him as much as they possibly can. Or at least so GH can do the pulls. So see if MudGolems maybe think about rotating anyone up top to try and help out Skeeter. Or if he's just happy to sit in that lane on his Todd. And I think he's going to be doing alright. A large amount of XP taken away from him by GH doing that pull. So it's not even like he's going to get a big sort of XP lead being solo here. How's it looking in the mid lane? 14 and 5 to Boronia and 8 and 1 to Weeha. So Boronia's got a slight lead at the moment. Actually quite a nice lead. Doubling the CS of Weeha. And quite a nice chunk of denies over the top of him as well. So once again, as we saw in the previous game, Boronia's got the head start in this lane. Despite the fact that Weeha did actually get that first blood, so he had a little bit of bonus gold to work with. So finally Fato actually rotates up top to give Skew a little bit of helping hand, but meanwhile 33 getting gone on once again. Just a little bit of harass, going to force him back and make him use that salve. Miracle's having a completely fine time down in the spot lane now.
This is bullshit. Fight me.
So everything's sort of settled down a little bit now. The tri-lane's dispersed and everyone's just gone back to a 2-1-2 setup. Not too much crazy shenanigans happening. It's like Milan though, he's trying to apply a lot of pressure here onto Miracle. He's got 3 stacks of Shadow Poison on so far. We'll get the 4th. He does have level 2 Shadow Poison, so maybe a 5th stack could actually be potentially lethal for Miracle, but doesn't quite get the connection onto it. I think it might have been lethal actually, because it times the damage quite a bit once you get that 5th stack online. But Kuroki's able to zone both of them out just on his own. Very obnoxious hero, Bane. Meanwhile in the mid, it looks like Weeha's finally sort of hit his stride now. definitely brought the CS closer between him and Boromir, and he's actually forced Boromir to go all the way back to the base. Looks like he's going to secure up the one of the bounty runes. He's just going to carry on heading down. He can run into Milan by the looks. Milan will get caught out by the tornado. EMP on top. And there's no way he can go. So a little bit of extra bonus gold going into Weeha. Finds skill onto support. And actually, 33 hadn't fallen back yet, so Weeha's just going to completely turn around and head back on down here. He doesn't have cold snap, not for another 3 seconds anyway. I don't think that is there enough to actually hold him in place. The cold snap just coming off cooldown. Finally will start ticking away. And with the Lucent being kind of a miracle, Weeha's able to get the last hit. So now, you won't even bother TPing back to the mid lane. GH is here, just going to soak up as much farm. Always nice when your support's able to get a free open lane.
This is bullshit.
Top rune actually does get secured though for Boromir. Manages to bottle it up. Probably won't be able to do much of it just yet. Oh, Miracle's Courage just dies before it can actually finish off delivering the boots. They're trying to dive past this tier 1 tower. Kuroki gets caught out, but Weeha's already rotated around himself. Boromir with the haste rune activated. Just not going to dive in amongst the trees. Milan will actually put the disruption onto Weeha, so Boromir's going to run in there, try and do as much damage as he can, but it looks like Milan's going to fall instead. Too much damage for him to sustain through. Weeha now getting turned on. 33's here. Trying to do as much damage as he can, but the Ghost Walk comes out from Weeha and he's able just to walk it off. But he's still not actually completely left. He's still hanging around, just slowing 33 off of this aura coming out from the Ghost Walk. Even now, rotation coming out from GH. So Nigma, they want to find something else from this, but no, they won't. Looks like they were not able to get the grab onto anyone else. Meanwhile, Ski's just having complete free farm up top. Difference in net worth between him and Miracle, 50 gold. So it doesn't really matter too much, purely for the fact that Miracle has got 2 kills and 3 assists. So that helps him a little bit in his slight CS deficit compared to the Lifestealer.
All in a day's work.
So down bottom, making more aggression on the side of Nigma, trying to get grab onto the land, but couldn't actually able to find anything. Kuroki's now just in full retreat. Only got 2 shadow poison at the moment. The third does connect, that's not going to be enough damage to bring him down. Boromir is actually already rotated around here. He's just going to jump straight into the trees, trying to find Kuroki. There is actually 4 stacks of poison on him now, so he will fall. Now Boromir just needs to fully retreat. He rotates around, the tornado does connect. There is still 1 charge Astral Spirit, but it's too late. He gets levitated up in the air, and with the cold slap on top of him, he gets quickly brought down. Now Weeha's this charger forward is going to try and find a grab onto Milan, and he will fall as well. Now it's just 1 versus 3. Not sure what 33 is going to be able to do to survive this. He's going to just try and juke drive between the trees. Actually runs back into Weeha, does get the Anchor Smash connection, but there's still just not enough damage. Fight me, Weeha says. 33 tries, but he ends up falling. So another 3 kills going for Nigma there. Just more and more going into their favour. Now 9-1 on the scoreboard. This is starting to look how game 1 looked. I mean, it's not as bad for MudGolems, purely to the fact that they're not in a team which needs to play, have some sort of momentum, otherwise they just completely flop on their face. They still got the Lifestealer farming away, and the utility from the Tidehunter and the Phoenix in team fights are always handy. The scan actually does connect from far to there, so you realise Kuroki's around here in the jungle. We will spot him out. Mind Control's actually rotating in himself. Doesn't look like he wants to try and dive onto it. Doesn't really want to waste the RP perhaps just on the kill onto the Phoenix. Instead he's going to run straight into Skeeter. He's hit by the open wounds. He's going to be forced to try and go for a TP out. Not enough damage on Skeeter online just yet to actually bring him down in time. No armlet just yet. Kuroki now trying to snatch away the bounty rune. He doesn't even get the bounty. It looks like he may fall for this. Magic Mini runs out for Skeeter, but it doesn't really matter. Boromir just flies on him, gets the last hit. And that's both of those bounty runes secured. Meanwhile, down bottom, I think both of them got secured actually from the side of Nigma. So it just ends up being a 2-for-2 trade just on opposite sides of the map. Even still, Skeeter just flying away with those last hits. Only 400 gold over the top of Miracle though, so despite the fact that he has 20 more last hits than him, still not hugely insurmountable. Here goes RP, committed now from mind control. Going to force and push Skeeter all the way back. The egg is committed to the side. There's already a nightmare coming out from Kuroki to hold him in place. The egg will actually just about go off in time, stuns all 4 of them. So far will survive, but even still, just not enough to actually keep his carry alive. We are actually still hunting for this. I don't think you're going to be able to find him. Lift up an EMP, committed there from Nigma, trying to get a grab here on Spora. We're actually here with the Tornado, but there's still no other follow-up. Meteor Hammer now online for 33. Not exactly the fastest one in the world, especially seeing as how he did just pure rush it, went straight for those skipping the brown boots as well. But I mean, he has had a pretty rough time down bottom, 0 and 3. He even gets secured back into the Eclipse for a miracle. And the deny comes out from mind control as well. Insult to injury. Poor roll 33. Just trying to get some sort of presence on the map and making things a little bit better for his team. Doesn't end up going too well from him. Already, he actually recommits here onto Weehard. Got his double damage pop. Weehard gets pretty low. There's no other sort of follow-up. They actually dive forwards now, but they run out of vision. Don't have any sort of dust available. And now Far is in the scopes of Nigma. He will just be able to run away though. Jump forward for Miracle. Mind control does actually collect the shockwave, but it's just not enough damage. Even the Resonant Pulse there from GH, not enough to grab him. Dissimulate collection from Boromir. Jumping forward, trying to finish him off. The Sunstrike nearly connects onto Fata, but just barely misses. So out of all of that commitment and vigor showing up from both teams, it's actually only GH to fall. So despite the fact that Nigma has quite a large kill lead, there is only still 1k gold lead favouring them so far at this point in the game. I mean, Skeeter's just been off free farm this entire time. But even still, he is actually now 800 gold behind Miracle. Here on the mid, 33's mana just gets completely drained. He has enough for a Ravage if he uses his mangoes, but everyone else on the side of Miracle just bails in time. Doesn't want to give him an easy setup. Ghostwall used up by Weehard, but looks like he's potentially going to try and head down bottom and get a kill onto Fire, but he realises it's coming. He's going for a bail. It's a really long TP, but fortunately for him, Weehard just could not get there in time. I think the Ghost Walk provides like 0%. Okay, so he's giving him 10% bonus movement speed. If he had a couple more levels into his Wex, then he probably would have got there in time to catch him, but it's not enough. Armlet online now for Skeeter. Working towards the Sunge as his next item. Maybe it's going to turn that into a Heaven's Halberd perhaps? Just to try and disarm Miracle and stop those glaives from coming out and wrecking his entire team. So maybe fastest. Thinking about trying to go for a dive onto the grab the enemy bounty room. There's no one actually else there, so it looks like you might be able to get away with it. Now 33, taking a little bit of aggression. You will actually find him. Wasn't sure if maybe Fire was going to go for that dive, but he decided against it. But even still, there's another kill going towards Miracle. Now going to start working on this tier 1 in the mid. Oh, meanwhile down bottom. Looked like maybe Weehard tried to guarantee the bounty down bot, but doesn't even get it. And ends up just paying with his life. 5 kill streak. Who was it? Actually, Milan gets hit. So this is going towards the support at least, but even still. Nice pickup. RP jumps forward from Micro, only connects on Safata. And they even commit the Eclipse now, so he will fall pretty quickly. Skiers is charging in there. Trying to do as much damage as possibly can, even after Miracle got disrupted up. But all these glaives are coming out for the side of MudGolems. And Miracle just completely falls. Had no support left on the side of Nigma to keep him alive. Skier nearly got low there, but the armlet toggle keeps him up. So ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. Favouring MudGolems. They did end up losing their tower, sure. Ooh. That was so close. Nice attempt there by Weeha. But I think he's only got 1 point in exhaust. So, exhaust? Exhort. So it's like proper pistol damage. Even still, respectful attempt. They're in Ski just teaming up to take down the ancient stack. 33's done his job and he's going to leave Skeeter to clean it all up. So Skier, he's not really gone for any sort of farming accelerating item. So it is just natural that Miracle will be able to outpace him in the farms purely because he has the glaives that just really increase his farming capabilities. Oh, jump forward. Then the Sunstrike actually finds the connection onto Boromir and everyone on the side of Nigma just collapses on top of him. Boromir falls pretty damn quickly. Really nice Sunstrike, yeah, again. So we are, even though it's only a level 1 exhort, he's just using it to scout mainly. He's doing a good job with it. So in the mid, Skier, he actually gets caught out. Weehart connects the tornado onto him and Farta. Trying to knock him down in place. The EMP comes out. He actually just infests straight up into Farta to try and let him bail him out. So no one ends up dying, but just being a little bit disruptive. It looks like maybe Nigga want to carry on applying a little bit of pressure to charge him forwards. Crookie, he will go up to the high ground now. He spots out everyone on the side of MudGolems, but they don't quite want to initiate just on Kuroki just yet. There'll be too much follow-up coming from the rest of Nigma. And now they're all going to swap onto Kuroki. It sets up for a perfect RP from Mind Control. Sets up onto 2. Skews him back into the clips, waiting for Miracle. Doing quite a lot of damage. Ski has just barely been able to fight, but finally he will fall. The egg does finally pop, and it stuns Miracle, but still not damage to keep him locked down. And now it's just up to Boromir and 33 to try and chase the ball. Boromir gets locked down by the Nightmare. Finally the Ravage comes out, connects onto Kuroki and Weeha. Looks like Kuroki might eventually fall for this. He will actually. Oh no, he's still alive. The Lucid Beam comes out from Miracle, just saves him in time. There is a Meteor Hammer, comes from 33, but doesn't actually connect onto anyone. Fires is getting hit by those cold slaps in the background. It looks like he will fall. Looks like 33. They managed to actually get the kill onto Miracle with the help of Milan, so they find something. But even still, it's a 3-for-1 trade favouring Nigma. It's a really nice place by them. Just baiting out Kuroki, waiting for them to clump up and try and take him down. And the sets up for a super easy RP. I think maybe it's just like it took a very, very long time for 33 to actually cast his Ravage. And by the time he cast it, it only really connected onto a couple of people. So maybe he sort of needs perhaps just a Blink Dagger to try and stay in the sidelines and get a decent grab that way. Was that Nigma? They will actually spot out Boromir. He just finished up farming the creep camp. He's going to walk up to the high ground, runs into everyone. He just managed to get to Simulate off in time, but even still, GH was just waiting in time. He just gets the grab up. Even the committed Ravage comes out from GH. It does actually everything connects onto Boromir, and he just drops. Even still, there was the stolen Ravage coming out there from GH. Let's get the kill. I'm not sure how long that timer actually is. Half the duration. So 90 seconds. So he's not actually going to have enough time for another Ravage. He's going to have to steal something else. Looks like Mike Controller trying to hunt down Milan, but he will just use the disruption defensively. Even 33 off to the side. His Ravage still on cooldown for another 35 seconds. Can't quite make anything else happen. He's just charged at Nigma. Unfortunately, Skeeter's smiles off. Farming up his next item. He's got the Sand, but he's not actually going to change that just yet into the Heaven's Halberd. He's actually just going to swap his build and go for a Battle Fury. Might be worthwhile him doing that a lot sooner. So obviously you do lose the efficiency of a delayed Battle Fury. Looks like potentially MudGolems are going to try and go for a smoke up play. They're going to head into their own jungle. It looks like most of Nigma, they're all gathered up, going to try and get a gank onto Boromir, but he blinks back to the tower. Mike Control, he jumps forward, does get the RP connection, and then even the Nightmare coming out from Kuroki and hold him down in place. Meanwhile in the back, the rest of MudGolems, they find a quick kill onto GH, so it ends up being a 1-for-1, but even still, you take away Boromir, which is a much higher value target. Kuroki trying to go for a TP out, he will actually manage to make it in time. The Potter's got Miracle infested inside. Oh, I think he nearly got the sight there onto Mike Control, but he just about hides. Nice little poison comes out there from Milan. Will actually just about find Mind Control. He will fall. Doesn't have any sort of mana to try and make anything happen. So it does end up being a 2-for-1 trade. Just slightly favouring MudGolems. Manta style nearly on 9 for Miracle. I will just like further increases survivability, plus quite increases the damage output you can do as well, because all of those illusions bounce all their glaives as well. And it can be quite devastating in team fights. Looks like Milan, he can see the haste stream, but he's not sure if he wants to go for it. He is actually going to try and pick it up. But instead, Weehar saws him going for that, grabs it before he can. Even the Sunstrike actually connects onto him, but it's still only like level 1. So it's level 3 now at least, but it's still pistol damage. So the entirety of Team Nigma now have all grouped up. Looks like they're just going to move straight into the Roshan pit. But the scan actually does connect there from MudGolems. So they think that they're trying to take Roche right now, but they actually just move out of it. So that's going to confuse MudGolems a little bit. They're like, well, maybe they've moved into our own jungle. And they will actually just spot out Weehar, farming it up there. They jump forward. Bora connects him with the Remnant. Pulls him back. Lets the Infest come out from Sia, doing a lot of damage. Weehar looks like he will eventually fall. Boroni is caught in the background. The egg does finally get commit. Bora's already dropping low. Run out of mana. The Ravage comes out for 33. Stuns everyone. And that's just 4 quick deaths on the side of Nigma. Completely shut down from the side of MudGolems. Finally, they take a good team fight, and it goes in their favour. All of their team fights working really damn well. There's a couple of members of Nigma try turning around and try to focus down that egg, but the Ravage coming up from 33 just completely shuts all of that down. And ends up just being 4 for none. And now it sets up for them to get the Roshan. Probably just put the Aegis into the hands of Skeeter. Maybe Bora, because he's been focused quite a lot and Skeeter doesn't get close to dying. Seems like he's quite close to 3k HP. Nah, they would have summoned into the left Seater's hands. Maybe that fight might have gone a little bit differently if Miracle had his Manta style online. Oh, meanwhile, down the bottom though. GH and Weehar, they find a quick grab onto Milan, but he's able to get his disruption off defensively. Tries to run a nice tornado, actually connects onto Fata mid-dive. The rest of Nigma's already rotated around. MC and Kuroki already smoked up. But everyone on the side of MudGolems has bailed. They realise that some sort of movement must be coming around. They see Boromir farming up in the mid lane. But he's already started walking up towards the top. He couldn't quite grab him in time. But another immediate smoke coming out from Nigma. They want to keep this ball rolling. They've got the RP available and the clips. So they want to try and find something during this timing. Nice remnant place in there by Boronio, just cutting off that little advance. The jump forward from GH does get the connect onto the land and bring it back into the rest of the team. And the Shadow Demon falls. Oh, 33, looked like he tried going for the bounty rune there, but ends up running straight in Kuroki, and that's just going to be a super easy kill. I think he's taking a while to die. He will fall? Wait, what? Okay, here you go, GH just commits it with the Arcane Bolt. It took a lot of time for him to fall there. Seems how all 5 heroes on the side of Nigma was completely surrounding him. So Nigma, they want to keep trying to find more. Tornado forward from Weehard doesn't actually connect. Boromir is able just to sidestep it. So nearly the Ag's online for Weehard as well. You'd really let him spam out those spells a little bit more. Why does it not say... I'm pretty sure the axe is just like the invoke has like a 0-second cooldown. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I think it does upgrade a few things. Like Deafening Blast becomes an AoE ability rather than just a single line. I have to read it as soon as he picks it up because I can't quite remember. Actually, never mind. Nigma's actually making a movement onto Milandu, who actually get the pick off, but it looks like Microsoft might pay with this with life. He'd already committed the RP to get that initial kill. Miracle's now stuck in amongst everyone. We'll probably speak KB just to be able to run away. Nice tornado by Weehell's going to allow him to escape. But even still, you've lost Miracle and the RP was already used, and all you managed to find is the support kill on Milan. And Ravage is still available as well. There's a MudGolems. They don't want to quite fall back this one. They keep going forwards. They won't run into anyone though. Right, what's quickly what is to do? Upgrade some strike, so you get Cataclysm. Oh, so let's just get. I thought Cataclysm was a talent. Actually, he's got 0 in his talents. He's not bothering with them at all. I suppose you do as an evoker. You just want to get all the actual spell upgrades first, and then just get all the upgrades later on until you find an actual juicy one. So it's the level 25 which turns the Deafening Blast into an AoE effect. That's how it looks. Never mind. I got it the wrong way around. The jump forward from GH. Revenant forwards doesn't actually find anyone. Instead, he would get the grab onto 33. There's still no follow up from everyone else there. Boromir jumps forward, trying to commit something onto GH. He's getting ran down by 33 in the moment. There's still not quite enough damage holding in place. The Nightmare comes off Kuroki, holding Boromir down. Miracle jumps in to get involved. The Cataclysm comes out, but doesn't actually connect onto anyone. Milan falls, but Kuroki and Miracle was actually dropped already. That's a large portion of the damage from Miracle. Nigma just gone. Now they're in full retreat. And it's still, that's not even the Ravage committed from the side of MudGolems. They still have this available. This is it. 33 doesn't need to use it just yet. This Miracle just falls so damn quickly. Too much physical damage. The Aegis does actually get reclaimed. No fall from Boromir. He will find the grab onto Weehar. Mind Control is nearby. He does have the RP if he wants to try and commit and maybe defend him. He chooses to save it for now. Looks like Weehar will actually escape. Even Mind Control gets away. So very, very, very patient there from Mind Control. Most people would just pop that RP as soon as they saw that engagement happening. But he kept a level head. I mean, potentially we could have seen maybe a like a Cataclysm turnaround with that RP. So is that a gem? Who's got a gem? So Milan's actually got a gem now. Literally just to grab grab Weehaw on these Ghost Walks. That's pretty much the only thing on the side of Nigma that actually will be affected by that. I think there is a Glimmer. Die fall from far. Finds Kuroki. He's just waiting to get the bounty rune there. The jump forward from Boromir with the infested Skeeter. And he melts pretty damn quickly. The jump up to the high ground from Milan. He actually manages to get the disruption grab onto GH. And he's actually taking quite a bit of damage just from the two supports, and he will actually end up falling. Everyone else on the side of MudGolems is splitting up, trying to find something else there. Boromir, he actually finds a grab onto mind control in the mid lane. Farta has rotated around. We'll see if he's able to get here in time. Nice haste rune plus blink out on mind control, trying to get away. But still just Boromir's keeping chase. RP actually commits the RP to try and hold him back. Weeha's now rotated himself around. Miracle's even here with the egghead to put it into the background. Just to make sure that they can't try and bring Boromir down. Forces him to go backwards. Meanwhile though, Skeeter and 33 just taking down the tier 2 tower up top. So what's Miracle building into next? Got his butterfly queued up as his next item. It's pretty close to being able to buy that Eagle Song the first. Just farm so damn quickly, especially when he has Empower on him. Broken damage. Broken. So what's Skeeter building up? He's got his Basher on Lime. Says he's not actually going to bother going for that Heaven's Halberd. Seems how Miracle already has a BKB. So he's actually going to go for the S&Y instead. Sporonier's just got his Ags finished up, got the Aeon disc queued up as his second item. Just to try and dissuade the sheer amount of pressure that keeps coming out from the side of Nigma. Nigma, quite a few of them are gathering up towards their top of their triangle area. And they're making a move into the dire jungle. You actually find Weehaw jumping forwards. He's going to fall quickly. Miracle, he did get spotted. He's going to start getting hunted down now. Boromir manages to connect with the Yule Scepter. But Miracle, he's keeping level head. Doesn't want to pop his BKB just yet, and he will now force it up. But I mean, it's a relatively short duration. He's trying to go through a TP out, and it will just make it in time. But his BKB is now down to a 6-second cooldown, 6-second timer. Not really too useful. Roshan is actually up as well. So MudGolems will probably just roll straight on in there, get a free Roshan kill, get that Aegis and cheese. Is there anything else on it? So it's just Aegis and cheese at the moment. Not much that Nigma can really do to stop this from happening. Even if they wanted to, they're on the complete opposite side of the map. They actually do a smoke up now, but I don't think they're going to be able to get up here in time. They're charging over there as fast as they possibly can. But even still, Roche, he's going to drop pretty damn soon. Jump ball from GH. Skeeter needs to bring down as fast as possibly can. Boromir actually drops pretty damn quickly, especially with the Eclipse on top. Too much damage coming out from Miracle. Now Miracle needs to just run away. He's getting slowed up too much. Too much physical damage coming out from Skeeter. The Miracle falls. Kuroki gets caught up by the Ravage, and he drops as well. Weehaw now just in full retreat. It looks like he might just be able to escape the jump fall from Milan. He can't quite get the grab. He actually just manages to get the disruption in range. So Weehaw gets held back. He's trying to run away with the Ghost Walk still, but the open wounds comes out there from Skeeter, and he gets completely slowed down. So it ends up being a 3-for-1 trade, favouring MudGolems. And Aegis and Cheese both in the hands of Skeeter. Cheese are they not quite going to bother pushing up to high ground yet. Well, I suppose they don't actually do a quick wave. They're just waiting for it to arrive. Then they will potentially force out the buyback from Miracle. They don't realise that Weehaw, sorry, they don't actually realise that Miracle doesn't even have a buyback himself. MC pushes. ski all the way back to the tier 4s. They're actually just going to completely bail? Why are they bailing? I suppose there is an RP available, but you've got Aegis Cheese. It's a 5 versus 2. 3, sorry. Oh well, they'll just bail out either way. We don't want to get too crazy. They're just going to split up and take all the bounties. Just going to further their little XP lead. Now, so about 18,000 XP lead favouring MudGolems, as well as 7k gold lead. MKB queued up as Skeeter's next item. Probably seeing the butterfly in the hands of Miracle. But immediate infest now coming out from Boromir and Skeeter. See a few heroes at the top lane trying to farm up, so we might just see MudGolems try and collapse up there. The scam will connect, but I don't think they realise that it's everyone on the side of Nigma. Jump forward, it actually connects onto Weehaw, but they don't have any sort of reveal to try and grab him out. Skeeter just jumps down straight away. The stolen Ravage comes out from GA, followed up by the Eclipse. Just Boromir melts in a second. Kuroki does actually end up falling from the focus coming down from Skeeter. There ends up being one for trade. Both buybacks forced out. Miracle. He gets pretty low so quickly. He's not exactly the tankiest of people in the world. Even Kuroki after this buyback, he needs to run away. If he falls here, it will be pretty detrimental. He's gone for a very long time. We actually ends up getting caught out by another open wounds. Egg, dive in, committed. Ravage now comes out, actually connects onto 3, gets the bonus grab of Miracle. Even the Egg now commits. Miracle locked down in place. Weehaw drops as well. No buyback on Miracle, but Weehaw he can, and he will be forced to. But even still, everyone else on the side of Nick was dropping pretty low. GH just barely survives. He crawls away. They jump forward from the land. He finds him. Another buyback, forced out. So just so many kills going on the side of MudGolems. 3 buybacks now. Even a dieback on Kuroki. So it's 5-on-3 situation. Both of the other 2 gone for 55 seconds. Jump forward once again from Boromir. He finds a grab onto GH. GH falls. Now it just keeps jumping forwards and finding more and more. Control, he's trying to get a big RP grab. You see if he's able to get it. He manages to grab a few of them. He's going to screw him all the way back to the fountain. But it's not close enough. And he can't get the grab. A little unfortunate. The Meteor on the Deafening Blast comes out from Weehaw, but it's not enough damage. And everyone from the side of MudGolems is able just to walk it off. You still need to bring down one of these tier 3s, and then you'll be able to actually go onto the... oh, Sunstrike! Perfectly gamed there by Weehaw. Manages to get a grab at least onto Fata. And I mean, they've been distracting for a really long time. Miracle and Kuroki's up in 15 seconds. You might just have to see MudGolems just bail as soon as they wear off. I don't think they can afford to stick around for much longer. TP forward from Miracle. Jump forward from Mind Control, but he couldn't quite grab anyone. MudGolems, they don't want to fall back. They're staying very aggressively positioned here. Coming out with the infest, they're going to target Miracle straight away, and he just evaporates in a second. He could not survive that at all. No help from the rest of his team. Kuroki even falls once more, and again, it's just a massive hero advantage from MudGolems, and they're just going to, I think they're just going to close out this game. They are actually going to focus onto the barracks rather than going straight for those tier 4s. Maybe just giving Nigma a little bit of respect, and not just going to try and shut him out right away. Again, another jump forward from Boromir, gets the grab onto Weehaw. Easy remnant setup. There's nothing that Weehaw can do to scoot back from Mind Control, brings 33 all the way back to the well. There is a defensive disruption though to keep him safe for now. And with the Ghost Scepter also on top, I think he just bought that. Really nice play, does keep him alive. Is the Aegis reclaimed? And MudGolems going to go straight up, take away this last lane of racks. Or actually TP'd up to the top, just trying to push out the wave, but realising he doesn't quite need to. I don't think there's anything that Nigma can really do to stop themselves from getting Megan here. There's no Miracle for 20 seconds. No Weehaw for a minute. Again, another infested Boromir. See, he doesn't even care about finishing off these barracks. He would just pop out and say, oh, fine, I'll finish the build and then. So Megas now for MudGolems. And it's still a 5-on-4 situation. All of the big ultimates available for both teams. MudGolems, they don't feel like they want to go back. They're just going to keep pushing forwards here. MKB online for Skeeter as well, so Miracle's just going to drop even faster. It's Remnant on Remnant action. It's all over the place. RP finally comes up with Miracle control, doing quite a bit of damage. Miracle trying to do as much as he can. Boromir falls, but Skeeter just immediately starts jumping onto Miracle and he just drops in seconds. He really needed a Hurricane Pike to be able to make a little bit of distance. Unfortunately, he doesn't get it in time. GH with the Stolen Ravage and the Cataclysm on top, but they've already called GG. It's too late. You can't uncancel the GG. It looked like they might have actually been able to defend that. I'm not going to lie. There could have been like some big comeback. But even still, they were up against Megas and they were just too far behind. Yeah, like I was saying, I really think Miracle just needed a Hurricane Pike to be able to just make a little bit of distance between him and Skeeter. Because there's just no way for him to try and disengage once he was on top of him. And unfortunately, I think that's just what ended up letting him die every single time. But even still, very well played there by MudGolems. They're taking that series 2-1. That last game was probably the most even one out of all of them. Even though it definitely did end up flipping on its head and MudGolems just steamrolled the ending. But in the mid game, it did seem like it could have gone either way. But even still, well played by MudGolems. And yeah, that's them taking the series 2-1. Very nice by them. But if you guys have enjoyed the stream and my cast, then please think about following me on social media like Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube, where I post all these videos and different VODs of whatever I'm doing. And on Twitter, I post announce what games are going to be casting. So if you guys have enjoyed what I want to do and you want to support me further, then yeah, please think about following me on either one of those. And hopefully I'll see you in the next series that I cast. So see you later.